All right, guys, welcome to WSA Winnipeg versus St. Louis Lions here at the University of Manitoba. As you can notice, we are indoors. The game was moved inside just to avoid potential weather delays as we saw last week, but this game will still go ahead as planned. I am Mahith Gamaj, and I'm joined by Matias Bueno, who'll be joining me for the color commentary. Matias, are you excited for today's game?
Very excited, Mahith. It's going to be a great matchup to see that WSA is going to really want to come out firing on all cylinders, especially considering St. Louis is a long way from home, and having that home field advantage is very key in soccer, and especially outside of the elements will really present more of a focused mindset for them today.
We're just about ready for the national anthems here at the University of Manitoba.
Is it okay if I just see some of the names from the WSA? Because like this looks.
And for the starting 11s tonight, for WSA Winnipeg, Swiatek Artemenko retains his place in goal. A bit of a change of shape here, signaling perhaps a more defensive change. Donna Kasonga, Kevin Garrick, Tom Prazak, Chelo Simwinga, and Toby Ajibadi are lined up to start in the back line. Erin Makchik moves into midfield from left back, where he has been featuring alongside Kalen Badu and Braden Silva, and Peter James and Rainer Hoekstra play up front for the home side. As for the away side, Liam Gibbs, the starting goalkeeper, retains his spot in the net. Luke Blackburn plays alongside the top scorer Chad Hamler, Aidan Rahill, and Josh Graham in the back line. Greg McCrudden, Cooper Rice, and Charles Checklace make up the midfield, while Brandon Burton, Ben Weber, and Luke Andrews play up front. There's a strong United Kingdom sort of feel to the St. Louis Lions squad, where there are 11, I count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 who are from the United Kingdom, while 1 is from Ireland and 3 are from the USA. So, I mean, does that make a difference in this? Do you think those players are maybe more technically gifted, maybe just grew up playing soccer a little bit more than the Canadians on this WSA team?
I think it really depends on their background. Obviously, the automatic pass to someone from England being better than someone from Canada may be a bit of a stretch if the person is not familiar to football, but clearly in this case, I would like to think that St. Louis has gone out of their way to find some great British talent in order to compete in this league and also to put a successful squad together so that they can win a lot of games, considering they're in a bit of a situation that presents no losses if they don't find players who are from America, compared to the obviously WSA from Canada trying to develop our Winnipeg players and boost the level of talent overall for players who can go to the national team.
Yeah, and these two teams are sitting second and last in the table right now, but St. Louis are quite a bit ahead. They have 2 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw, whereas WSA Winnipeg have lost every game except for 1 where they drew Thunder Bay. But last week, they nearly toppled the top team in the division, and they scored 2 early against Des Moines Menace, and then they gave up 3 goals, 2 before halftime and 1 after it, and they lost the game. So do you think it'll be difficult for them to rebound from a tough loss like that at home?
It can be a bit shattering to your confidence, especially when you come so close to toppling a great squad that it was last week who they were playing. But unfortunately for them, it might seem a bit lackluster maybe from the beginning, in feeling that they have an extra boost ahead, that they almost scare the top team. So in order for them to be able to become successful here, they're going to have to really keep that sharp mentality and not get too ahead of themselves.
We're just about ready for kickoff here. It does look like Aaron Makshik is starting in a more advanced position. We've seen him at left back essentially all season long, but it looks like it'll be a 4-3-3 for WSA Winnipeg, or maybe a 4-5-1 as we kick off here at the University of Manitoba for WSA Winnipeg versus the St. Louis Lions. Lions, of course, kicking off the game here and perhaps looking to get an early goal. WSA Winnipeg have struggled a bit at the early stages of games. They've given up quite a few early goals, but last week, as I mentioned, it was the opposite. They scored 2 early. I mean, how important is it for them to get a good start here against a stronger team?
Well, especially at the beginning of a game, you really want to show morale to all your teammates, and you really want to make sure that you have a lot of confidence throughout the remainder of the game, and also to last as well. You don't want to, last week they started a bit strong and then finished weak, and that weak finish is what's really going to be the determinant of how successful you're going to be in this league. If you're not able to finish strong, then it's going to be really tough to win a lot of games. And as you can see here from the standings, the WSA only having drew 1 game, it really shows maybe a lack of finishing on their behalf in games overall, because you want to make sure that you're winning to boost the confidence of players, to boost the morale of the team, to boost the publicity of the team, and it can be really negative if they are not able to win as many games as they know that they can.
Yeah, they are missing their top scorer today in William Brown, who doesn't feature in the squad at all, but he has 2 goals. He assisted Daniel Sagno's goal last week beautifully, and he is one of the top players for this team. Do you think he's going to be a big miss? I mean, Reno Hoekstra is up there, though, but I mean, obviously Will Brown's a great player that they're going to miss today.
I really think that you want to make sure you have your top men in at all times, and especially when you're a squad that has nothing to lose. It's not really going to pose any threats to have your top player playing all the time, and building that endurance and that experience is what's really going to only make them better. And when you're at the bottom of the barrel, you want to make sure you can do everything to put yourself in the position to keep moving up, because it can't get much worse.
So intense play here at the start from St. Louis. There's Luke Andrews playing on this left-hand side, taking on Simwinga. Simwinga wins that ball back, but not too much help for him there, but he wins the foul. Yeah, the thing is that, last week in their last game, Reno Hoekstra missed it with a red card from the game before, and Will Brown played up front, and now Will Brown is out and Hoekstra comes in. I mean, there's kind of a lack of stability in their front line right now for WSA Winnipeg, which is bound to make them struggle a little bit more than maybe they wanted to.
Yeah, and as you could see from St. Louis's record against WSA, that it seems that almost that they have their number in a sense. WSA Winnipeg struggling a bit, like you said, to have that stability in their lineup, and having that. WSA Winnipeg has some very talented players, as you mentioned, Will Brown earlier, and having having that instability can falter with team chemistry. And team chemistry is huge in this league when anything can happen. Really, a lot of the teams can be pretty close, obviously minus the top 2 or 3. So they really have to make sure that they're always on their toes and very sharp with their play. And it looks like they have a great opportunity here in the attacking third.
Yeah, and here's Makshik, who I've mentioned is playing an attacking role, trying to get to Hoekstra, but he's Braden Silva. Oh, he's rising. Of course, Reno Hoekstra is that focal point for them up front, and it's worth mentioning that both these teams have lost 5 games in a row, so this is a great opportunity for both of them just to get back in the win column after a long time without one. But, I mean, St. Louis have only scored 6 goals all season, but 4 of those goals came against WSA Winnipeg earlier in the season, where Chad Hamler scored 3 times, and he's after their top scorer just from that.
And as you mentioned, Heath, having 4 goals out of your 6 against WSA Winnipeg surely gives St. Louis a lot of confidence in their ability to score against this team. And although they can potentially draw...
This check lace, just misses the final pass. You were saying, Matthias?
Yeah, and that tack snuffed out. But as I was saying earlier, having 4 out of 6 goals against one team can really give you a lot of confidence to win this game. And definitely want to get into the win column and not draw here. I want to come away with all 3 points.
Burton just losing the ball there and time in midfield, trying to play through Reno Hoekstra, and it's good defending there from Josh Graham, playing at center back for St. Louis. Looks like Greg McCrudden playing at the base of midfield alongside Cooper Reese. Looks like maybe like a forward pairing for St. Louis there with the 28 and 29. In Weber and Andrews, but I mean, based on the lineups, based on what we're seeing so far, it looks like a 4-3-3 for both sides. Perhaps WSA Winnipeg are dropping maybe to a 4-5-1, but I mean, we've seen a couple formation changes from them, and they really started to get a set lineup going. But you know, today they switched it around a little bit. You know, maybe they lost Will Brown, but you know, they changed quite a bit. I mean, Aaron Makshik from left back to right wing is a pretty big change, whereas the last few games they've looked pretty much the same. So like, why do you think maybe they're looking to change it today?
I really think they're maybe just trying to expand the field, and they want to make sure that they get a lot of depth on the wing, as you can see.
Oh, it comes to check lace, he just fans on it, and Weber! It's a lovely finish there from Ben Weber, the 21-year-old American. And St. Louis have an early lead here at the University of Manitoba, just in the 6th minute. But, I mean, some poor defending there from WSA Winnipeg.
I was just going to say it was a great finish, but a bit of poor defending really led to that opportunity. And you can see it almost like he duffed the shot on the first attempt, but the second one is not going to make any mistake on that. And St. Louis up early in only 7 minutes of play here at University of Manitoba.
And that'll get their confidence going for sure, especially after 5 losses I mentioned earlier. WSA Winnipeg, of course, have plenty of time to get back into this game, so we'll see how it plays out for them here for the rest of the first half at least. Here's Braden Silva. Back to Tom Prazak. Impressed here by the goal scorer, Weber. Trying to find Makshik, looks like a little bit too hard, but Reno Hoekstra's on his horse to try and get there, and he's going to keep this in, but the goalkeeper's going to grab that one. Out wide here to Chad Hamler, the top scorer for this side. It's Cooper Reese. Trying to send it long to Weber. Tim Wing that takes a poor touch and it goes out of play. Down the line to Andrews. Hamler. Being pressured here by Aaron Makshik. Hamler, nice way to shield the ball there. And the ball downfield from Josh Graham goes out of play for Artemenko's goal kick. Of course, on these types of goal kicks, WSA Winnipeg do tend to press really high. I mean, you can see here they got 4 guys in this front line. And they're going to be looking for a flick from Reno Hoekstra right here, number 18, and he gets there. trying to play through Peter James. Luke Blackburn's going to get there first. Because you always see Reiner Hoekstra, the center forward, just turn his back to goal and just drop deep, trying to get those flick-ons for maybe the faster players on his wings. But, I mean, that's always a quality that you love in a center forward. And, I mean, he's a quality player, as you can see. And he really caused problems for the back line with his physicality especially.
Absolutely. And a bit of an interesting situation with playing indoors, having to do a drop ball in the field of play, considering that the ball can hit the roof and it's considered a dead play where they have to drop the ball. Similar to in outdoors if they play in the youth and lower levels, if there's trees around. So maybe a bit of an advantage here for both teams, not having to worry about losing possession from clearing the ball too high in the field of play.
Here's McCrudden. McCrudden again. Trying to find Weber there. Trying to just turn his in transition. Couldn't quite get past Kevin Garrick there, who has been excellent in Winnipeg's back line over the past few weeks or so. Kevin Garrick there, the number 5, playing left center back today. Badu, Peter James, Kalen Badu. Here's Tom Preza. He's got a bit of time here at the back. He's going to try and send it forward. He finds Ajibade, but that ball is going to just bounce around here. And Erman Makshik's got a little bit of daylight ahead of him. And here's Erman Makshik. Hamler's just on him a bit, cut off his angle. Here's Simwinga. Trying to find Garrick, and he just loses the ball in midfield. And there's tons of space here to drive into for the number 6, Greg McCrudden, and he takes down Braden Silva, and that'll go in back to WSA Winnipeg for a free kick.
There is a bit of a blind spot on our camera, folks. So for you watching at home, we pardon the inability to be able to get the tight sideline here right underneath us.
Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of a strange setup for us, but we will do the best we can. Here's Braden Silva, lovely touch, and that's just rising. He just tried to hit it on the bounce, and Braden Silva's a short guy. It's difficult for him to get over it more than maybe it would be for a taller guy. But
and a great opportunity for WSA Winnipeg to get on the board, but ball goes sailing, and the keeper has nothing to worry about there.
Yeah, as we mentioned for this game, we are kind of on a ledge just above the field of play, so we can't quite, even we can hardly see the sideline here, so of course the camera can't pick it up, but we will do our best to describe that for you once it's happening. Nice Chad Hamler. Here's Graham, tries to send it down the line towards Cooper Reese, can't quite get there, and Simwinga fluffs the clearance. And now St. Louis regain possession. Here's Checklace, who has played the most minutes for St. Louis this year. Charles Checklace in midfield, the number 8. McCrudden. Here's Checklace again. Lovely touch to McCrudden. This is good possession here from St. Louis. He's trying to cross it over to Chad Hamler, and that's just going to run out of play for a WSA goal kick.
Just a little too long there. He had a good idea trying to spread long down by the 18, but nothing doing, and now WSA can regain possession and hope to get some good passing going amongst themselves in the midfield and towards the forwards.
Let's see if this ball goes up to Reiner Hoekstra. It's going to go towards Peter James. Nice head down. Here's Ajibade. He's going to lose the ball in midfield to the goal scorer, Weber. Of course, there's 1-0 here for the St. Louis Lions early at the University of Manitoba. In the 12th minute, they did score from Ben Weber. Of course, last week it was Merrick Weber scoring twice against WSA from the penalty spot, so they're kind of getting haunted by Webers over the last week or so.
Absolutely.
Here's Checklace.
See St. Louis probing here on the left flank.
Hamler. Fadden. Oh, lovely pass here for Checklace. He's going to try and swing it in there. And Kevin Garrick's there to save the day for Winnipeg. Hamler, nice turn. Checklace, with a nice turn here on this left-hand side. He loses it in midfield to Kalen Badu, who's going to make a nice turn and drive downfield. He's trying to send it towards Hoekstra, scuffs the pass a little bit, and it goes right to Josh Graham. Oh, it's a poor touch. And here's Peter James. He's got Hoekstra in the middle, if he can just find him. He looks to find Hoekstra, and the pass is a foot or two ahead of him. And Josh Graham gets back to clear.
That was great defending there, way to be able to snuff out the attack. With WSA Winnipeg now have a corner and a great opportunity here to pose a scoring threat against the Lions. And he was just a tad short. If he would have had that in stride, that would have been a great opportunity for WSA Winnipeg to score here. Let's see what they do in the corner.
They got lots of size, WSA Winnipeg. That's the one strength they do have. They got, Kevin Garrett, Prazak, and Hoksha all over 6 foot. They opt to go back, and Braden Silva's going to lose this ball in midfield. Show some strength there to regain it. And here's Silva again. Yeah, here's Ajibade. Oh, lovely touch from Herman Makshik. He's going to try and drive through, and Peter James can't quite get to the end of it, and that's going to be a goal kick for the St. Louis Lions. WSA Winnipeg growing into the game, as we can see here in these last couple minutes. Yeah, as I was saying, they got a lot of height, but the thing is, last week against Des Moines, those guys had a massive backline. So even though Hoksha, Garrett, Prazak are all huge guys, those guys were just a little bit bigger and a little bit more technically gifted defenders, I might say. So they snuffed them out pretty well. Artemenko's going to claim that cross. Yeah, today the size advantage isn't, it might just be in Winnipeg's favor, so perhaps they can use that to their advantage.
And they definitely want to look to swing balls into the box and use that height to their advantage, especially considering that the back line for the Lions is not as big as Des Moines was.
Ajibade just trying to swing this wide to Peter James. Going to be a little bit too long. Nope, he keeps that one in. Because James loves to cut in from the left. If he can just find an angle to pass or shoot. He's going to keep the ball and nowhere to go. Here's Badu. Here's Kasonga. That's a weak effort on goal. It's an easy save for Liam Gibbs, who's going to spread this out to his left back, Chad Hamler.
Just to remind you folks that today's game is brought to you by the 4 Points by Sheridan and Winnipeg South. It is Winnipeg's best kept secret. Make sure to visit 4 Points by Sheridan and Winnipeg South today.
Down the line. Oh. An important touch there from Simwinga, and Prazak takes time with the clearance but manages to get there. Here's Peter James on that far left-hand side. It's kept in there on the far side, and Kalen Badu goes down, and Peter James is going to regain this ball near his own half. Actually, this ball just refuses to go out today.
Staying tightly along that sideline there.
Man, Peter James is such an influential player when he gets on the ball. He plays left wing for this Winnipeg side, and once he gets the ball on that far side, he loves to just cut inside, and he's such a physical, fast player, and he always causes problems with his close control. And then last week we didn't see enough of him against Des Moines, which I think kind of led to Winnipeg's downfall. He is, very much an influential attacking player, and perhaps they didn't do a good enough job of getting him on the ball last week, but he's seeing a lot of the ball today, and perhaps that'll bode well for Winnipeg.
And you definitely love to see his physicality on that left flank, and presents a lot of speed that can challenge all the St. Louis defenders equally. And it may be the X factor here for WSA Winnipeg in this game in order to get back into it. Still lots of time left here, half an hour in the first half, and WSA looking to get into St. Louis' side of midfield and post some threats for their first goal.
And here's Peter James, who we were just speaking about. Lovely turn there. And he's going to try and drive in the middle. He's Hoksha. Hoksha! Just down the throat of the goalkeeper. Again, nice combination play there on that left-hand side from Winnipeg as Hoksha and Peter James combine for a shot on goal.
You definitely want to make sure when you get those opportunities outside the 18 that you really make the most of them and get a stronger effort on goal. It's really tough in those areas when you're putting up routine saves for the keeper. And sometimes the backline may not crack and give you the golden opportunity, so around the 18 should be the best area for WSA Winnipeg to score today.
Here's Graham driving into midfield. He's going to spring Andrews here down this left-hand side. He's got Weber in the middle if he can find him. Prazak's out here guarding him. Here's Hamler. And that is going to be a penalty for the St. Louis Lions. Looks like it's Tom Prazak who takes down Chad Hamler, who is dropping into the half space from his left back position. And he just clips him on the run into the box. And the ref does show Prazak a yellow card. What did you think about that, Matthias?
I definitely thought it was a bit of a tough situation for him. And Andrew Brown, the head official in the middle, has a good call on that. If you clipping defenders in the box as they're turning and stopping that promising attack right in the 18 is really going to be a tough situation here. So St. Louis up to the spot.
It's Greg McCrudden stepping up. McCrudden! Oh, it just goes through Sviatek Artemenko. It looked like he guessed the right way, and it went nearly right through him there. And yeah, Artemenko does look quite distraught. I mean, you could probably say that he probably could have gotten a stronger hand or something to that one. But Greg McFadden does score the second here for the St. Louis Lions as they go 2-0 up in the 19th minute here at the University of Manitoba's Subway Soccer Complex. WSA Winnipeg in a little bit of trouble here in this first half, but again, plenty of time to try and get back into this one.
Yeah, just unfortunate for Artemenko underneath his left hand there, and he really had a golden opportunity to save that and swing some momentum for WSA Winnipeg. He guessed right, but just a little unlucky.
Yeah. Of course, Winnipeg with the team going up 2-0 early last week, and today they're down 2-0 early, but perhaps we'll see something similar last week where the team down 2-0 comes back to win.
You want to see WSA really feeling, you'd like to think that they're feeling fired up here and wanting to put one on the board and really be able to get momentum back in this game. We have an offside there on the far sideline.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect that maybe 15 minutes to go till halftime. They'll up the tempo a little bit and try and at least get one to go into halftime, maybe with the momentum or at least having crawled back a little bit. But yeah, I mean, we can probably expect them to try and keep a bit more possession now.
Going up, putting one in the back of them before halftime would keep them really tight in this game. And it's not absolutely over if they're able to pot one here.
And here's Silva down the line to Hoekstra. Lovely ball there from Braden Silva. He doesn't have an option in the middle. Urban Makshik's trying to make his way there. Here's Hoekstra looking to get a shot away. And looks like it's going to fall to Makshik. If he could just take a good touch, Urban Makshik. Here's Hoekstra. Good defending there from St. Louis Lions. They're calling for handball. Couldn't quite see it, but I mean, they got bodies back and they blocked about 2 or 3 shots there. And they win the ball half the field here with Checklace. Trying to take on Kasonga, can't get past him. Checklace can't quite get on the end of that. There's Kasonga, who's playing left back today. We've seen him at right back basically all season long. And that's another one of those positional changes that I was mentioning earlier. Donna Kasonga there, the number 20 on that far side.
Yeah, WSA Winnipeg looking for the handball in the box there, and St. Louis able to recover and prevent any opportunities for WSA Winnipeg to score on goal, and they have another opportunity here.
There's Braden Silva. That one's closer than the ones he had before.
That was a great effort, just whizzing over the bar.
Braden Silva finding a little space in midfield, nobody quite pushing up onto him, and he rips a shot at goal.
I'd like to see him get that one on target next time. That would really be able to test Liam Gibbs in goal for the Lions.
Hasn't had too much to do yet, Liam Gibbs, but WSA have been close to testing him on a few occasions. Just got to get those shots on target now. Ajibade wins the ball in midfield. Graham sends it over here to Luke Andrews. Weber is fouled there by Ajibade. This Checklace, so influential in this midfield. Charles Checklace. McFadden, the goal scorer, just gives it away to Kasonga, who's going to spring Kaylan Badu. There's number 10 Badu.
Looking for James on that left flank there.
He's got the ball here, Peter James. A lovely turn there for Peter James. He's got Hoekstra in the middle if he can find him. And he's going to lose the ball here to McFadden. Badu's getting into a scrum there with Luke Blackburn on that far side.
And goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah. It's a little unfortunate. The clearance just kind of came off him and bounced out there.
Again, Peter James really showing a lot of strength in the attacking third against the Lions defenders, but unfortunately not able to get anything going out of that situation.
I mean, you love to see a guy of his size also have that technical quality and that quick feet, because you see a lot of players that are big, but you know, when they're a little bit bigger, they can't quite use their feet as well as maybe somebody who's small. But Peter James is definitely not that. I mean, he's got a lot of quality with those feet and great close control.
Absolutely, Heath, and James really shows a lot of great technical skills for a man in his frame, and it really poses a lot of great opportunities for WSA Winnipeg to utilize his strength on the left flank throughout this game.
Just praise that. Back to his goalkeeper, Sviatek Artemenko. He'll spread it wide here to Kevin Gary. He's got a bit of time to try and play a pass. He's going to try and play Hoekstra through. Reader Hoekstra just misjudged the flight of the ball there a little bit. He's still fighting to keep it, and he might win it there against Graham, and he wins the foul. Nice work there from Reader Hoekstra. Again, we got to mention his strength in those types of situations. He just causes problems all game long.
Absolutely, Hoekstra winning the foul, and now WSA with an excellent opportunity here to get an effort on goal or be able to test Gibbs here from the set piece.
Looks like it's Badu and Peter James standing over this one.
Just about 30 yards out from goal right now.
Yeah, and here comes Erwin Maxey. He's the one who has been taking set pieces for the most part for Winnipeg over the past few weeks, but it does look as if he's going to shy away from this one, and Peter James is going to take it. He's going to roll it to Badu, who's just going to fire one on goal. A low drive, can't quite get through the pile of defenders there, but WSA Winnipeg just trying to spring on this loose ball, and can't quite get it to Hoekstra there. St. Louis again defending well in these sort of pressured situations where WSA Winnipeg are really pressing. Oof. And that's our first roof of the game, which we are bound to see once or twice more perhaps. But yeah, that is the one thing that
so now it's going to present it's going to present a 50-50 opportunity here, and
interesting one.
It really does increase the pace of play in the goal area, especially if they do Price with a shot.
Didn't quite get a hold of that one. It's going to roll to Gibbs, who's going to find his center back. Trying to find Weber upfield. He's going to find a nice chest down there from Weber. There's Burton. Back to Pass a little bit too hard there for Weber. And Winnipeg are going to have a throw in there on that far side from Kasonga. It's Peter James. So that ball's...
There's a foul against the Lions.
Yeah.
Nick Schubert, the AR1 on the far sideline.
There we go, back to Peter James, who is going to manage to keep this in, but lose the ball. Weber. Peter James, ref says no foul. Got to keep playing there until you hear the whistle. Braden Silva has got a bit of time in midfield, and that's a poor pass from Braden Silva. It's a good opportunity to switch play, and he just hits the pass to Maxey here a little bit too hard.
St. Louis able to recover from that. Looked like an excellent opportunity for WSA Winnipeg to move into attacking third.
And Gibbs, we got our second roof of the day with Liam Gibbs hitting the ceiling there from the back pass. So another 50-50 there. Lovely play there from Ajibade just to shield the ball and regain possession for Winnipeg. Here's Kasonga trying to find Hoekstra with those runs just off the center backs there from the center forward. Here's Hoekstra. Doesn't have too many options, but he's going to try and look to the near post, but nobody there. Ajibade, nice touch. Braden Silva, back to Ajibade. And here's Hoekstra again. Reader Hoekstra, and looks like that is going to strike off the hand, but ref says no foul. Simwinga, Prezak. Nice calm pass back there to Kevin Garrick, who's going to try and switch play to Peter James. Lovely pass there from Kevin Garrick. Here's James again. He's going to lose the ball. Perhaps St. Louis can play it up here with Weber. Nice way to shield the ball there from Weber. Cooper Reese. It's goalkeeper Gibbs. Weber just misses that pass. He's causing good problems here, Merrick Weber. He's isolated up front, but he's showing his physicality well and just trying to win those long balls up there. Ajibade. Hoekstra, nice little shoulder down from Badu. He can't quite reach it though. It's Hamler. Josh Graham. Trying to find Checklays with the long ball. Simwinga versus Checklays here, and Simwinga gets the chest on it and clears that from danger.
They're able to play it to safety, and St. Louis looking really good here in the attacking third of WSA Winnipeg.
Checklays trying to cross it in. It's going to go off Ajibade for a corner kick.
It'll be St. Louis's first corner of this game, Heath, and I really think that WSA is going to have to be on their toes in order to prevent them from putting a third on the board.
Not too many options in the box here for St. Louis, just the three around the penalty area. We got a few lining up here at the edge of the box, perhaps trying to run in. That is what they do. They're going to go towards the far post. And that ball's going to be won there by WSA Winnipeg. Trying to find Hoaxha up front. Badu, lovely header down there for Makshik. He's got a little bit of space if he can control the ball. Emin Makshik. He's got some winger running through. And he's got Braden Silva unmarked at the back post. Can't quite get the ball through. There's Makshik. Loses the ball. Hamler. Oh, nice win back there from Makshik. Here's Badu. Lovely footwork from Kalen Badu. He's got a runner on that far side. It's Peter James. The ball's just going to go past him, but he'll manage to keep this in play. Here's Peter James once again. He's got a couple options in the middle, and that's going to be a foul there on that far side. Peter James, again, causing problems and drawing the foul.
And James looks a bit shaken up on that play, and hopefully he's able to get back up on his own feet. And a lot of quick play here. You can see Heath, and both teams are really making sure that they're keeping the other defenders on their toes. And they're moving back and forth quickly up and down the field as fast as they possibly can. Almost look to be in a bit of a hurry at times. But now WSA with an opportunity here for another set piece down by the edge of the 18. Let's see what they can do.
Again, that size in the box is there. If they can just find it, that's going to go too far. But Simon's going to try and keep this in. And it's a poor set piece there for Winnipeg. They really got to get that towards the penalty spot and try and cause problems, but it goes a little bit too far.
A little bit too far on that right side there, and if they could get more in the middle of the box, just north of the goal area, that would really be the best opportunity for them to use their height advantage.
Cooper Reese. Here's McFadden. Let's go to the second goal from the penalty spot. Nice little dummy there. Here's Blackburn. Switches play here for Hamler. It's a poor touch for Hamler, but he's going to maintain possession. Bit of miscommunication there, and Ajibade is going to try and get through. Toby Ajibade is going to foul his man there on the back line. Just kind of just running a bit too hard and clips his man, but
bit of a careless foul, yeah. And looked like they had
the ball here.
An opportunity in the attacking third, and now St. Louis get to reset and play from the back here.
McFadden. Oh, tons of space here for Blackburn. Weber, again shielding off the defenders really well. Weber still fighting for that one. And ref says he fouled his man. There's Gary. He's going to play this quickly for Hoaxha.
On the ground there.
And surely that's offside on Reno Hoaxha. Just went a little bit too early there. It's a bit difficult to try and time those runs when you take the free kick quickly. But Reno Hoaxha just overran it a little bit there. Here's Checklace. Loses the ball. Here's Ajibade trying to play it to Braden Silva, and he manages to get on it. Silva. Here's Hoaxha. Tries and backheels it to Makshik. Wasn't really convincing enough.
Bit of an untimely backheel. That was a fraction of a second sooner. That would have been an excellent opportunity for WSA Winnipeg. As you could really see, they're getting a few looks here, but nothing has really come to fruition. And now St. Louis are on the attack again.
Here's Graham. Trying to find Weber. He finds his left back, who's just going to let that run out of play. It's Chad Hamler there, making his way down the left. He is the one who won the penalty, so you can kind of see Chad Hamler here getting really far down this left-hand side. He is the top scorer as well. He's playing here on this at essentially left back. So you can see he is very much an attacking player despite playing in the back line, which is essentially what modern fullbacks are nowadays.
Absolutely.
They've got to get up and down the field. It's not the good old days where the fullbacks were essentially just center backs that played out wide.
Yeah,
they definitely got to be the most agile players on the pitch.
Act as the anchor, but a fullback definitely has a lot more versatile skills and abilities in today's game of football. And we're seeing that a lot here from WSA Winnipeg. One ball
Silva.
back to Silva.
Makshik. Nice turn into space from Emin Makshik. He's going to play through Hoaxha. Down here on this far side, or near side, excuse me, this right-hand side, there's Reno Hoaxha. There's Makshik. Just switching side to side here. They can't quite find the vertical pass. St. Louis get back in numbers really well. Just over the head of Badu. And and that did not hit the ceiling.
And then also did not catch the tarp either.
Oh, lovely touch there from
Excellent
Checklace.
opportunity for St. Louis.
Here's Checklace and Weber. If Checklace can just find the pass through, he can't quite find there, but he does find a teammate. And here's Weber again, alone in front of goal. And Weber makes it 3-0 for St. Louis. Well, he saw Checklace. Looks like he was about to waste the opportunity, and then manages to find a way through, and Weber gets his second of the game.
That was excellent patience. You could see there, as I thought the same thing as Yumi Heath, he might have squandered the opportunity with a 2-on-1 by slowing up a bit, but he made a great pass, and that second ball to the left side, no chance for the keeper when 1-on-1, just 7 yards outside of goal. And it's 3-0 St. Louis just before the half here, and they're really looking to put this one away if they have another on the board here before the whistle for halftime.
It's that's kind of the risk you take when you're down and you push for a goal. Of course, you're going to leave gaps at the back, and just unfortunately for Winnipeg, they concede a third due to that. Oh, they're going to keep that in. Here's Checklace, who has been a problem all game long for Winnipeg. Here's Charles Checklace, so influential in midfield there, the number 8. That's a poor pass from McFadden. Peter James going to have a little bit of space to drive into. Oh, lovely tackle there from Blackburn just to avoid Hoekstra running through on goal.
Foul on Peter James. Referee saying clips him from the back carelessly, and now St. Louis having an opportunity up the left flank here, just in the view of our blind spot. And Graham plays a long ball.
He can manage to keep that in, and that's going to go out of play. Nice effort there from Burton to keep that in play. Can't quite do so. Artemenko's going to send that upfield. Headed down by Blackburn. There's Checklace again, seeing a lot of the ball here in this first half. Charles Checklace. Down the line to Blackburn. Checklace. Oh, lovely pass to Burton, but it's going to go back, and it's a nice save from Artemenko. He was just coming on the opposite side that he was moving. It's a more difficult save than it might have seemed, but it was a good effort there from St. Louis. It was Cooper Reese with the final effort.
Artemenko's momentum was used a bit against him, and he was able to recover quite excellently. And it looked like another opportunity for St. Louis to put a fourth on the board. And WSA able to prevent that from happening.
Here's Braden Silva with time in midfield. Finds Makshik. Tries to pass to Simwinga. And it's good effort there from Chad Hamler just to win that ball back by bouncing it off Simwinga out of play. Checklace. Oh, lovely play here from St. Louis. Hamler. Nice recovery from Braden Silva just to clear that ball out. But it's this number 8 again, Checklace, who is causing all the problems for Winnipeg in midfield. It's McFadden. Oh, nice pass there. Here's Andrews. Trying to cross it in, and there's a man arriving. And that's just going to go past the far post. It's Cooper Reese again, who's getting into that final third with late runs.
Reese had a great chance there, and I thought that might have been number 4 for St. Louis. Just a nice one-timer in the middle of the box, and Artemenko caught a bit off his line, but now is able to reset with a goal kick here. And
Ajibade. Nice touch there from Checklace. He's going to draw the foul. It was a handball there. Here's Checklace again. He's going to have an effort from quite a distance, and that's an easy one for Artemenko. Here's Chelo Simwinga. Silva. Nice patience there from Braden Silva just to find Kevin Garrick. Back to Silva, who's playing as the deepest midfielder here, kind of just distributing from deep. He's going to look long for Hoekstra. It's a nice pass from Silva. Hoekstra! Ref says no foul. Renar Hoekstra just trying to get around the keeper and get on the end of that ball. Looks like he does go down a little bit easily, and he's going to get a yellow card for simulation here, Renar Hoekstra. Ref deemed that a dive. But it was a good ball there from Silva just to play it down there for Hoksha. He was just trying to get on the end of it and couldn't quite manage to. Gibbs taking his time here. Peter James wins that. There's Badu. They maintain the pressure here, Winnipeg. Kalen Badu again. Peter James back to Badu. It's a nice little flick back there for Kasonga. He's going to switch play there, Kasonga, here to this near side with Tom Prazak. Trying to find Braden Silva. That passed a little bit too far ahead of him. There's tons of space here.
And St. Louis
that's going to be offside
there on that one. Looked a bit too promising for the Lions attack. And as it was, you could see there from the sideline official raising the flag, and now Artemenko gets the ball back.
One-on-one center forward there. Artemenko. Prazak's going to place in the midfield. Oh, nice chest down there from Kalen Badu, and he wins the foul. He's another one of those influential players, Kalen Badu.
And a bit of a quick reaction there, as you could really see the official giving a simulation caution earlier on that one, and it looked like Badu was able to fall a bit quickly there, and that looks like to be the plea from the St. Louis defender for the booking, but the referee is going to stick with his decision.
There's Garrick. Plays it short for Kalen Badu. Oh, Maxik just triple team there from the St. Louis backline. Here's Graham. Chad Hamler back to Graham. Andrews. Nice way to play out there from St. Louis, out of pressure. There's Blackburn. Into midfield with check lace, back to Blackburn. McFadden. Nice combination player from St. Louis here on both of the flanks. They've been just showing off their skills. Badu wins that ball. Kevin he's got a man out here screaming for the ball. Can't quite find him. Prazak in the midfield with Badu. Silva, nice pass there for Donna Kasonga, and it's going to be cleared out of play for Blackburn. It's a lovely pass there from Braden Silva.
Box.
It's got a chance here, Reno Hokshan again. St. Louis just blocking his shooting lanes really nicely. Check lace is fouled there from Ajibade. Just gets over top of him there, trying to win that header. Check lace looks to be a little bit shaken up. Yeah, it looks like Ajibade. Yeah, just kind of went through him there, just over the top. He just got a little bit too high on that play. And
that can be seen as a bit of a careless foul there, and no intentions from him to plow over the defender like that, but nonetheless, big, strong fellow like him is really going to put some damage on that defender when he comes over the top.
Yeah, check lace looks a little bit shaken up here. He's still just figuring it out. It's a nice pass here to Hamler, but a poor first touch. Simwinga just pulls it down the line. It's going to go right back here to Josh Graham. And yeah, it looks like Checkless has gone down, still feeling the effects of that foul earlier from Ajibade. Charles Checkless, who has been, in my opinion, the most influential player of this first half, looks like he's gone down. And perhaps they're going to need maybe like a concussion test or something like that, which is so important in all sports these days.
Absolutely, and maybe not as visible as all types of injuries, but still important nonetheless to assess.
So we're going to see a little bit of a delay here. I mean, who have you been impressed with in this first half, Matthias?
Well, I really like what I've seen from St. Louis's attack. They're really able to exploit all the mistakes from the WSA Winnipeg defense, and minus the penalty in the box there, that was a gifted goal for St. Louis, as they had a golden opportunity to be able to pot one in. I really have seen a bit of a lackluster effort defensively from WSA Winnipeg. However, I have liked what they've been doing in the attacking third, in getting a lot of opportunities at St. Louis, able to counter on defense, and WSA Winnipeg not taking advantage as much as they should be of the opportunities they have outside of the box. They've only had one corner so far, and I really think that if they're going to put one in this game, they're going to have to put more shots on Liam Gibbs of St. Louis. He hasn't been tested much today, and sometimes the psyche of a keeper can be a bit hazy if they don't receive many tests and can crack on the first one. So WSA is definitely going to have to get on that in order to get back into this game.
Yeah, we're just a couple minutes out from halftime here as St. Louis leads 3-0 against WSA Winnipeg. Ben Weber scoring the 2 goals from open play, and Greg McCrudden scoring the penalty for the second goal. Of course, we can't quite see this near side. We can't catch it with the cameras, so we will do our best to describe what's happening when the ball comes to this near touchline here. Here's Burton. Back to Checklace, who looks well again after going down with a bit of a head injury. Charles Checklace. Nice turn there. Here's Burton. Oh, nice touch inside. Burton trying to find Andrews at the back post, and it's a great save from Swiatek Artemenko just to get across the line and deny Andrews.
Artemenko able to recover brilliantly, and you could really see that that was a world-class save from him. Another opportunity for St. Louis in the box to put a fourth on the score sheet. Artemenko able to recover and parry it away to the right side, but St. Louis still have a corner, so there is danger afoot for WSA Winnipeg's defense.
And St. Louis love to just run in on those. Oh, and that's going to go off
the post.
Nearly could score an own goal there. Eamon Makshik just tried to swing a foot at it, and it looped over behind him. And Winnipeg are going to escape that one.
The handball is called against WSA Winnipeg. St. Louis getting moving quickly here.
Yeah, here's Graham trying to find Andrews. Andrews going to maintain possession here. Luke Andrews. Going to swing it into the box. And Kasonga intervenes.
And the fourth official signals for 1 minute of additional time for stoppages at the end of this first half.
Yeah, so not much time for either team to really do much now, but I mean, go into halftime and just sort of, recoup this Winnipeg side. To give up 3 in this first half is kind of a punch to the gut for them, but still got another half of football to play, and if St. Louis can score 3, maybe Winnipeg can as well.
Absolutely. Just to remind you folks that this first half of today's game is brought to you by the Common at the Forks. Make sure to visit Winnipeg's hottest destination in the heart of the city, the Common at the Forks. Visit today.
There's Peter James. Winnipeg trying to get one last opportunity before halftime. Keep that in play, Peter James. Manages to. Still keeps possession, Peter James. Just got to find the right pass. Braden Silva's got it now. Braden Silva is going to have an effort at goal. And McFadden does well there to step up and deny him. Here's Burton. Plenty of time now for St. Louis just to see out this first half. And the ref is going to whistle for halftime. It is St. Louis Lions 3, WSA Winnipeg 0 here at the University of Manitoba Subway Soccer Complex. A really difficult half for Winnipeg, but St. Louis took their chances really well.
And they did, and they had a few more opportunities to score and posed a lot of threats, and the opportunities that they did take greatly really resulted in what we see here as a 3-0 margin for the Lions at halftime.
And we will be right back after these messages.
The 4 Points by Sheraton, Winnipeg South. Conveniently located on South Pembina Highway near the Trans-Canada Bypass and 1 hour from the U.S. border crossing. Offering a saltwater pool, hot tub, 24-hour fitness center, restaurant, and lounge.
If you take the first mortgage you're offered, a high interest rate could take your travel budget and send it packing. Before you choose a mortgage, take a second look. Get serious about your mortgage. Contact Case Financial Group today. If you take the biggest mortgage you can get, you might find your budget can't support other important costs, like buying furniture. Don't let your mortgage weigh you down. Get serious about your mortgage. Contact Case Financial Group today.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
The 4 Points by Sheraton, Winnipeg South. Conveniently located on South Pembina Highway near the Trans-Canada Bypass and 1 hour from the U.S. border crossing. Offering a saltwater pool, hot tub, 24-hour fitness center, restaurant, and lounge.
Welcome back here to the University of Manitoba Subway Soccer Complex. Halftime has just ended between WSA Winnipeg and the St. Louis Lions, and it is 3-0 for St. Louis. WSA Winnipeg looking to get back into the game in this second half, and it does look like there's a substitution for St. Louis Lions. Charles Checklace, who was very influential in the first half and was pretty much the best player on the pitch, but suffered an injury towards the end, goes off for Livornese. And Reiner Hoekstra is just about ready to take this one off. Livornese is from the UK. Of course, has Italian heritage, as you can kind of see from his name.
It does look like WSA Winnipeg might be looking to make a quick change here before the start of the second half as well. They have a substitute standing by, the fourth official, so we'll see here if they get an opportunity to bring that sub in.
Yeah, it looks like that's Daniel Sagno, who has been starting the last few games for them, and he is going to replace Cello Simwinga. So it looks like an attacking change. Simwinga was playing in the back line, and Sagno is very much a midfielder / attacking player. So yeah, it's an attacking change from Winnipeg as they try to get back into this game here, down 3-0. And Hoekstra kicks this one off.
Just a reminder to you folks at home that the second half is brought to you by Backwood Boiler Boys. Make sure to visit them for all your furnishing and air conditioning needs.
St. Louis keeping possession here. Trying to cross play to Burton. And Makshik looks like he is back to his regular left back position. And Kevin Garrick, Tom Prazak, and Kasonga's back to right back as he normally is. Here's Kaylan Badu. Loses the ball here down the line. McFadden sends it back to Aiden Rahill. Graham down the line. Oh, Weber nearly gets to add to that. Yeah, as I was mentioning, I mean, the back four is very much, I mean, the whole team, I guess, back to what we are used to seeing from Winnipeg, with Makshik and Kasonga at left back and right back, and then Badu, Ajibade, Silva in midfield, Sagno, Hoekstra, and Peter James making up the front three. Here's Weber.
No call from the official.
Here's Peter James, and that's going to be a foul against Blackburn. It just kind of takes the legs out of Peter James. Or perhaps that's... Oh, yeah, it looks like it'll be throw in, perhaps. And of course, we can't quite see this near side with the cameras. We are just above the field of play in the stands. Of course, this game was moved indoors due to the risk of a thunderstorm here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. So that's why we are indoors if you are just joining us for the second half. And the near side is cut off a little bit. It's a kind of a blind spot for us, but we will do our best to describe what's going on when the ball does enter this little area over here on this near side.
Long ball, a little too long there, and Gibbs able to scoop it up.
There's McFadden, who scored the second goal from the penalty spot for St. Louis. Of course, number 28 up front, Weber, was the one who scored the two goals, kind of sandwiching that one at the beginning and end of the first half, both from open play.
Bit of a sloppy pass in front.
Just trying to play through there with Cooper Reese, who has been getting up into that final third really efficiently from midfield. And he's had quite a few opportunities today, Cooper Reese. There's one clear one that he missed in the first half where he kind of just ran onto a ball and just hit it on the half volley, and it just went far of that post. They're going to give it away here.
Silva loses the ball.
Yeah, and Weber is going to get an opportunity. He's tended around Braden Silva. Weber couldn't quite get the ball down onto his right foot, but really poor play there at the back from Winnipeg as they kind of gift the ball to Weber, who probably should have done better with that opportunity.
And now St. Louis with a free kick on WSA Winnipeg's side of half. Playing it into the backfield safely.
It's Graham.
Or Graham who plays it.
Reese just trying to flick it. He finds Blackburn. He's going to give the ball away to Badu. Blackburn slid through Makshik there. Ref says no foul. It's going to go out for a goal kick. Artemenko. He'll be happy to have Hoekstra back in the lineup. Swiatek Artemenko, he's very much that focal point. He's always looking for him with those goal kicks. And of course, last game he did miss him a little bit. But of course, he has him back today. Peter James trying to get up for that one. And Livornese wins that. His first real contribution of the game, Livornese. And then a try and send a long ball. Daniel Sagno, who's got the legs to reach it. He's going to keep that in play, Daniel Sagno. Oh, nice turn from him. He's just going to lose out, though, Livornese. Regains possession. Weber, he's got time on the ball. He's got a runner here on this far side, and Burton, he opts not to go to him. Here's Reese. Burton not happy with that decision from his striker, Weber. St. Louis looks like a bit more patient in this half than they were in the first. Of course, they do have a comfortable lead here, and they're not as they're not as intense in this second half so far as they were in the first.
Yeah, definitely nothing for St. Louis to feel the need to hurry for. And taking their time here in the back to gain possession and to kind of run out some time and get WSA to run all over the place.
To Livernese. There's Andrews. Back to Livernese, and Braden Silva just kind of intervenes, and ref says no foul. But that one will go WSA Winnipeg's way as Kalen Badu is brought down by Ben Weber.
No booking for the Lions there in WSA Winnipeg. Now a free kick near midfield.
Prazak's going to take this one. He drops it into Kalen Badu. Kevin Garrick. Nice pass to Peter James. It touched a little bit loose, but he's going to regain possession. And here's Peter James, number 12. To the near side, just trying to take on his man. That's going to go out of play, and it's going to be Winnipeg ball. Aaron Max is going to take this one. Matchik. Oh, lovely turn from Badu. He's going to lose out. And here's Reese. Oh, the pass is just over the head of Burton. It's a tough one for him to control.
Too far, tough angle.
Yeah, it's Brandon Burton here on this near side, 20 years old from the UK. That's the one thing that I love about St. Louis is alongside Winnipeg. I mean, these two teams have so many young players on the pitch. I mean, the oldest player on the pitch is 23.
I was going to say,
Greg McCrudden in midfield, the number 6.
It shows the attention to development of the youth for both teams to put a priority on making sure that they have these skillful players that can develop and blossom and move on to bigger and better things. Mm-hmm. And it is interesting, almost like an Olympic side squad with barely few men that are over the age of 23 years old, and in this case, none over 23 years old.
Mm-hmm. I mean, St. Louis have a massive squad, and there's only a couple players over 23. It's like Floris Blom and a couple others. So, I mean, and Winnipeg, of course, is a very young team as well. All from Winnipeg, of course, is Daniel Sagno stepping up for the free kick. Sagno is going to sky that one, yeah.
Almost like he was playing American football there, kicking a field goal and a bit over the uprights. Wrong sport, unfortunately, for him.
That'll equal the score, though, if it was the right sport.
A stronger effort in terms of speed, but not on goal, so a wasted opportunity for WSA Winnipeg.
Yeah, but going back to the ages, I mean, the difference between Winnipeg and St. Louis, despite them having the same kind of age groups for their players, is that every single player from WSA is living in Winnipeg, is from Winnipeg for the most part, while, St. Louis do have players from the UK, from Brazil, from Ecuador, so it's a little bit different, but regardless, the development of youth is a key factor for both these sides, as we can see with the ages on the team. There's Matchik. To Winnipeg throw in. And Matchik up to Reiner Hochschild. Oh, lovely pass from Hochschild. Daniel Sagno's here. Here's Daniel Sagno, cross goal. And Peter James was there, but it was just a little bit too ahead of him. They can't quite make much of that chance here, Winnipeg, but they do retain possession. Oh, lovely pass there from James. Into the middle. Here's Hochschild! Just into the arms of Gibbs. Reiner Hochschild showing off his aerial skills, but can't quite head that towards the corner.
Gibbs with a good save, and one of the best opportunities of the game so far for WSA Winnipeg. As you could see, they nearly had it on that one. A great effort and absolutely on goal, testing Gibbs again, and they're going to need to do a lot more of that to put one into the back of the net.
Here's Burton, just making his way around. Passes to himself almost. Aaron Max just going to get there.
Yeah, speaking to the development of the league, it would be more beneficial, I feel, if there was an opportunity for some of these PDL2 or USL2 teams to be promoted similar to other top flights of football in other countries, and it would really present a more competitive element, and it would put a better product on the field. And WSA Winnipeg looking to their best to develop the youth here in our own backyard, especially considering Canada has the World Cup coming up in a handful of years now. And with the new CPL coming in a great opportunity for players to be able to get a chance to play professionally here in our own home city.
Yeah, and there's 3 players on Valor who did play for Winnipeg, or WSA Winnipeg, in the last few years. That's Rafa O'Heen, Ali Moussi, and Tyson Farrago. And a lot of these players on the pitch for Winnipeg have played with those 3 during their time at WSA. And now to see them playing pro, making money to play football, is that going to motivate these players more this year than it has in previous years?
I'd really hope so, and considering now that Winnipeg has what looks like a long-term opportunity like they've never had before, contrary to the fury that was 25, 30 years ago, that there will be professional soccer hopefully to stay for the long run in Winnipeg. And I think it'd be excellent to see a lot of players from WSA Winnipeg be able to move up to the ranks of Valor, and even greater than that, maybe towards other clubs across the CPL and or MLS or USL Division 1 in a better case scenario. And I think it really has sparked a great buzz of soccer in this city and also in this country now that they finally have an official FIFA-sanctioned professional league that will be able to compete and develop the international side for Canada, considering that they've had a lot of difficult challenges in putting together a World Cup qualifying squad with no professional league to fall back on, with players not being able to be developed properly or not being able to have an opportunity to develop in their own country and having to look forward to the USL and to the MLS.
Yeah.
And so now, looking
Canada,
for
of
more
course,
opportunities.
Lost today against Haiti in the World
Unfortunate
Cup
loss for them,
quarterfinals.
and
Somehow up 2-0, they lost 3-2. So still a lot of work left to be done for Canada's national team, and even levels like this are helping that.
Haiti is no Brazil or Argentina, but they're not a force to be laughed at either, and they've had quite an excellent Gold Cup this tournament, I must say, and they've really impressed me a lot with their tenacity and their ability to stay in games and really pose threats to opponents that would not haven't taken them seriously in previous situations.
Nice win there from Ajibade.
Lots of physical play here to open up the second half. St. Louis looking to get themselves back on their feet.
Ajibade's going to play this here, and he's going to go into a battle with McFadden and come out on top. There's Peter James. He looks like he switched flanks there, Peter James. Kasonga.
And Ajibade able to stay strong on that play, as you could see that they're able to move it up and stay around in St. Louis's half for a little longer than they have before, and slow and sure steps to looking for their first goal here of the game, and St. Louis' defense able to recover here.
Over again, yeah, it looks like St. Louis they had a couple minutes they were just off the rails a little bit, but they're looking to regain their momentum. St. Louis have done such a good job of getting numbers back and the blocking shots and just cutting off angles, and Winnipeg have found it really difficult to find space in the final third today. There's Andrews. Back to Graham. He's going to switch play to Blackburn. He's got tons of space here. Luke Blackburn perhaps drive into.
Over to the other side of the field.
Now look at the space he's got on this side. He's going to find Burton on the underlap here. Blackburn. Burton's going to swing it in, and Artemenko gathers that easily.
Shirts there to help him in the box, and routine save for Artemenko.
Poor pass out.
Right.
Yeah, it's to Livornese there in midfield, who of course came on for Checklace at halftime. Checklace went off with what looked like a head injury after Ajibade just kind of went over top of him fighting for a ball up in the air, and unfortunate for him to have to go off, but
Blackburn on the ball.
Nice touch inside from Burton. There's Ben Burton. It's going to go right down the throat of Svetic Artemenko.
Artemenko in a bit of an unfortunate situation this game, having been left stranded and for dead a bunch of times, but has made some good saves when he's had the opportunity for defense to support him.
Oh, nice play in midfield there. And Rainer Hoekstra somehow stays on his feet after that. And Hoekstra's going to regain
great
possession.
Great strength
here,
there for sure.
And that's his greatest strength as well. Sagno's going to lose that though. Again, just surrounding every player that gets the ball with so many numbers, and it's so difficult for them to pull off a pass once the ball kind of crosses into the final third.
St. Louis able to swarm on defense around WSA Winnipeg attackers to prevent any serious attacks from going anywhere.
Burton, Makshik does well to stay with him. Burton just trying to get there, and Makshik does really well to draw the foul there, staying with him every step of the way.
A good call by the official there. As you could see, a lot of players complain, but I feel like that's a routine standard for a lot of these games. With not many people wanting to agree with the official, but still having to blow the foul for the strength that WSA Winnipeg defender was able to show there in the box.
Of course, we are in the 60th minute here, just about at the 2/3 mark of the match, and St. Louis are up 3-0. All three of the goals, coming in that first half. One from a penalty and two from open play from Weber. And they are looking comfortable right now, St. Louis. It doesn't look as if Winnipeg are threatening the net, too much.
Yeah, they're wanting to keep possession a lot, and they're wanting to make sure that they can move the ball around and continue to build that confidence and just look to exploit any opportunities they can see in the WSA Winnipeg defense, and are looking to take their time and not rush anything here and not cause any mistakes of their own in the back for WSA Winnipeg to get back into this game. As you can see, another great ball played across the field here.
Blackburn's finding a lot of space on this near side. But the thing about this scoreline is, Winnipeg aren't going to stand down. They're going to concede defeat. They're going to go for goals. And that might open things up for St. Louis to score even more, or perhaps it might get WSA Winnipeg back to the game. That's the risk you got to take when you're losing.
And I think that St. Louis has made the best of their counterattacks today, and having played a bit conservatively in the first half and not having done anything too hasty, and yes, a quick pace of play for both teams going back and forth, but like you said, they were able to exploit holes in the defense of WSA Winnipeg to score two of their 3 goals in open play minus the penalty. So a very smart tactic from the bench boss for the Lions. And WSA Winnipeg are going to have to get back in this game by
you can
being
see
able to use the
high
momentum.
Here. Yeah, look how high they're pushing up. I mean, there's 5 guys on the other side. And Hoksha again winning that header. Literally last week in the last game, I don't think Hoksha won a single header. I mean, in transition especially. The goalkeeper's always trying to look for him. But, last time he played, he struggled to get on the end of them. And, I mean, it was clearly St. Louis aren't posing as big a sort of defense against him as Des Moines did. So Hoksha is having a far more influential game today. Here's Livernacci. Over here to Reese. Cooper Reese. Yeah, look at the patience shown here by St. Louis. They're not trying to get up the pitch vertically quickly. They're just willing to play patient passes here and good passes to just keep possession and see out this match. Gibbs over to Graham. Oh, Andrew's just trying to lead that for Weber, but Ajibade gets in the way.
Yeah, St. Louis taking their time here and really showing a lot of patience in their pace of play. Looking to finish this game and be able to return home with 3 points. Don't want to lose any men and don't want to concede any goals here at this point. As Silva on the ball is going to play back to Artemenko. He's going to have to get it off.
A bit of pressure there, but
played back in to Livernacci.
Yeah, they've been struggling to win the balls in midfield, especially when Artemenko is going to clear that up to them. But, I mean, when the ball goes up to Hoksha and them, Winnipeg do have a bit of an advantage. But, of course, I mean, it's Will Brown who's normally the one feeding off those flicks, and for them to be missing him today, I mean, it's just not ideal because, I mean, last game they played without Hoksha, today without Will Brown, and those two are very much 2 of their very best players up front, especially. Hamler on that far side, the top scorer for this Lions team. Silva. Garrick showing nice patience. Braden Silva, oh, nice flick from Silva. Here's Badu. Over to Peter James. Opportunity here for Winnipeg if Peter James can just up the tempo a little bit and get the ball into the box. Only Hoksha in there. Kalen Badu. Nice feet from Badu. There's Makshik. Nobody can quite find a lane to shoot the ball here. Again, St. Louis just cutting off all the passing lanes, shooting lanes. It's so difficult for Winnipeg here to try and even fashion a shot on goal. It's going to be a corner kick here, which Edmund Makshik will take as he usually does. swung in there from actually. The header goes up from Kevin Garrett. Could not quite get a handle on that one. A chance for Tom Prazak, looks like, to get ahead on that. But Winnipeg do keep the ball with Kasonga on the far side. There's Daniel Sagno. Nice way to shield off the defender, Daniel Sagno. He's been a good introduction in the second half, the number 2 for Winnipeg. He's going to switch play over to Prazak, or Garrick, excuse me. Ajibade. Prazak. He's got time on the ball here, Tom Prazak. St. Louis not pressing as they did in the first half, just happy to sit back and wait for the ball to come to them. Here's Burton. Nice defending there from Peter James to win the ball back. And here's Makchik. There's time here now for Winnipeg. Airman Makchik.
We're in that blind spot, folks, so pardon the obstruction of Peter James on the flank with
Peter James again.
With Makic.
Yeah, he's got a lovely play here from Winnipeg as they're just trying to gain possession. Badu.
He's able to get the shot
Yeah,
off.
he's going to, again, the shooting lanes, just aren't there. Hoksha. Here's Sagno. He's going to swing in the cross, and that's going to be blocked on the far side by Chad Hamler. They're going to get inside again. Sagno's going to go down, and ref says, keep playing. Ref says that's
just play on.
And Sagno looks to be struggling there at the edge of the attacking box. And yeah, he is struggling. Looks like a shoulder injury perhaps for Daniel Sagno over there, but play's going to continue. Winnipeg are going to want St. Louis to play this out. And yeah, it looks like Graham is going to. Yeah, it looks like Daniel Sagno, who just came on in the second half as a substitute, is struggling with an injury. And it does look as if it's with his right arm. And that doesn't look too good for him. Yeah, it looks like the trainer is just going to make her way over there to see if Daniel Sagno is okay. Sagno came on for Cello Simwinga at halftime. A bit of an attacking change from Winnipeg, as we mentioned at the time. But we're here in the 67th minute, and it is still 3-0 for the St. Louis Lions. The second half has been a pretty feisty one. A lot of back-and-forth play. Neither team really able to create a clear-cut opportunity to find the back of the net. Of course, that'll bother Winnipeg more than it does St. Louis. And looks like we're just going to have a break here as Daniel Sagno is going to get checked out a little bit.
Looking to be a bit of a stoppage in play.
We're just taking a breather.
And Andrew Brown, the head official, getting both teams to get back into the field here.
You can kind of tell a little bit that maybe St. Louis are missing Charles Cheklis in the middle. He's played the most minutes for them this year. Probably their most influential player. I mean, he's a very good central midfield player. Always the one to. You can tell he's a very complete player. I mean, he's always dropping back, receiving the ball from deep, but he's also influencing play in the final third as we get restarted again here. And a nice pass there from Graham to Cooper Reese. He's got a few options in the middle, including Weber at the end of the box. And Reese is going to go for goal, and that is not anywhere near.
Bit of a poor effort, as you could really see that he had a lot of numbers there in the box and should have done something a little more precise with that one. And it looked like a hybrid between a cross and a shot. So you could see it went far wide of goal, but it looked like it was forward towards one of the players in the box. But unfortunately for St. Louis, the opportunity goes begging, and now WSA Winnipeg have an opportunity here.
But he couldn't quite find the
bit of a spin around there.
Ball, yeah. And it's going to be one back in midfield by McFadden, who plays out to the far side in Hamler. There's McFadden. Greg McFadden, who is the oldest player on this pitch right now at just 23 years of age. So you can see there's a lot of young talent, all of them from Canada, UK, or the US out on this pitch. Oh, there's one Irish player, in Aidan Rahill, number 16, the right center back for St. Louis. But, I mean, a lot of young talent on display here for you USL League 2 fans.
Hochsha not able to win that challenge from the defender, and Gibbs able to play it out.
And here's the Irishman, Ray Hill. Oh, here's Burton. Trying to flick it over to Blackburn. Peter James going to win that. Makchik, nice touch inside there from Airman Makchik. There's Tom Prazak. In for Makchik again. He's got tons of time here, Airman Makchik. He's going to try and play Hochsha into the middle, and that ball's far over his head, and Hochsha fouls his man. Yeah, I mean, you can just see that St. Louis are dropping back a bit more and not pressing Winnipeg high as they were in the first half. Looks like they're just happy to see out this lead here.
Play a bit more defensively, as you pointed out, and not in any hurry to move up the field very quickly, and wanting to make sure to keep all men healthy as much as possible. Just approaching the 70-minute mark here.
Yeah, so
Then 20
time is
minutes
kind
left
of
in
running
this
out
game.
for Winnipeg, as they're trying to at least get a goal or two to maybe spring something at the end of the game. Donna Kasonga is going to take that throw in on the far side. Plays it down for Hochsha. And Prazak. Kevin Garrick. Oh, nice pass inside to Braden Silva. Just breaking lines here. Kevin Garrick. There's Aaron Makchik. Just trying to swing it across. Oh, nice dummy from Makchik. There's Peter James. Again, nobody can quite find it. Oh, nice play here from Makchik again, just getting high up the pitch. Here's Badu. Makchik again. Ajibade. Braden Silva. Oh, nice cross. Hochsha's there, but so is Graham. And St. Louis are going to play this out, but Winnipeg are going to maintain possession here through Tom Prazak. Garrick. Peter James into the half space. Oh, nice touch from Peter James again. There's Peter James still on the ball. Peter James, and he goes down. It's a brilliant play there from Peter James. Takes the ball from the half space outside the edge of the box, and he drives in, he cuts in, he weaves his way through, and he wins the foul for WSA Winnipeg, and they're going to have a penalty kick here to try and get back into this match. Looks like Reiner Hochsha's got that one in his hand, but Peter James did go down. Yeah, he's struggling here, yeah.
Looking to struggle on the ground here, as you can see me. He's hoping that he's all right for WSA. He's played brilliantly today, and that was an excellent display of footwork there, as he was able to bring the ball into the box amongst a throw of the defenders from St. Louis, and able to get the penalty and rewarded for his brilliant effort into the box on his own.
Yeah, I mean, we were mentioning it earlier in the game. I mean, he's so influential on his left-hand side, and he's always driving at the opposition, always causing problems with his footwork, his size, his strength, his speed. And we saw it there in full flight, and looks like, he is struggling, but he did really well on the last play to win them the penalty and win them a way back into this match. Still about 20 minutes to go. If they can convert this one, you never know what'll happen. It did look as if it was a kind of a late reaction from him. He got taken down, and once he went onto the ground, he sort of felt something there. Perhaps that's a bad sign as he's limping off the field. Often those types of injuries where you kind of realize it late are some of the most dangerous ones. And Peter James has gone into battle here with WSA Winnipeg and come out with a penalty kick as he takes one for the team. And Reiner Hochsha is going to be the one to step up for this one. The center forward for WSA Winnipeg, going to try and get them back into this one, down 3-0 here to St. Louis. Hochsha. Oh, he skies that one. Oh, Reiner Hochsha. That wasn't even close. That was about 1.5 feet above the net. And Reiner Hochsha has wasted a beautiful opportunity for Winnipeg to at least get a lifeline in this match. And that was their opportunity to get back into it, and Reiner Hochsha has made a mess of it.
Unfortunate missed opportunity for WSA Winnipeg there. Golden opportunity. If that's not going to go down for them, then I think that might be it for them in this game.
Yeah, nice win in midfield there from Prazak. Winnipeg still pressing as Hochsha looking to make up for that mistake there. And he loses the ball here to McFadden. it's such a tough miss because if you get it on target and the goalie saves it, I mean, half of people are going to say, oh, the goalie did well. Half of them are going to say, maybe you should have put it in a corner or done a little bit better. But, I mean, when you miss the net completely like that, 100% of the blame is on you.
So a wasted opportunity at that.
Hoekstra does have one goal this season. He's, second in scoring. Will Brown's got a couple. But, yeah, it's a golden opportunity there for him to get another goal and maybe build some confidence going forward, but can't quite convert on that penalty kick as he skies it over the crossbar. There's Blackburn, McFadden, Graham screaming instructions to his teammates. Nice display of leadership there at the back from Graham. Hamler's going to swing it in, and Artemenko's going to get a touch, but he's not going to win it, and that's going to go just past the far post. Burton almost cashes in on a mistake from Swiatek Artemenko, but Winnipeg are going to escape with a goal kick. Wow, well that was really close opportunity there for St. Louis, and Winnipeg are lucky to escape at just 3-0. Looks like Nick Frias is going to come onto the pitch for Peter James, who Winnipeg were playing without for the last couple minutes. Nick Frias is going to slot in. Looks like a like-for-like change here on this left-hand side. And another sub being ready. Looks like that is Andy Berjani, but perhaps they'll wait a few minutes for that one. Artemenko going to send it long towards Daniel Sagno. Had to take a better touch there, Sagno. He's going to lose the ball there to McFadden, who's going to win himself a throw in. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for Peter James to have to miss out on his last 15 minutes or so here at the Subway Soccer Complex. Of course, this game was moved indoors due to risks of thunderstorm here in Winnipeg. Last week, there was a thunderstorm before the Des Moines WSA game, and the game was delayed for 2 hours. So you can see why they didn't want that to happen again today. So they moved it indoors. I mean, how much of a difference does playing indoors make? I mean, I know you repped a lot of soccer and you played as well. I mean, what's the difference?
I really think one of the big differences in playing indoors is positive is that you don't have to worry about dealing with the elements. Mm-hmm. There's no wind. Nothing can interfere with the ball. No rain, no snow. But at the same time, you are playing in a restricted facility, and with the power that a lot of these players would have, you can see that it can impact the game on defense, particularly if they're trying to clear the ball. The ball can hit a roof, and it will not just travel into the sky infinitely. So that can present some sticky situations for defenders if they're not able to clear the ball fully and have to have a drop ball in their box, like we saw earlier in this game. And since that drop ball earlier in the box, there has not been any since. So a good sign and not much of an effect on the outcome of this game in particular, but definitely a possibility for opportunities that offenses can have of teams to stay in the attacking third from a poor clearance by a defender whiffing it into the rafters.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you, I love playing outdoors far more than indoors. I don't know, it just feels a little bit more natural, and I like when the sun's shining. Even in the rain, honestly, it's fun.
Definitely playing on grass too. I know that the home field for the WSA Winnipeg is the Ralph Contafio Soccer Complex, the John Scoris Field, and it is turf similar to this facility here. Unlike many of the clubs that play in alternate leagues, being able to play on grass, and I think grass is much of a cleaner surface to play on, especially as a football player. You can really get underneath the ball, and you don't have to worry about any burns or any of the rubber pellets having an effect on your ability to slide.
Yeah. Once after every game you play on a turf like this, you got to take off your boots and shake them out because there's going to be pellets all in your boots. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a step we got to move towards, is getting pitches that are made of actual grass, because I mean, all the top FIFA nations, all their pitches are grass. Nobody except kind of like Canada, USA, and a couple other nations really play on turf. And I know it's been a big sort of debate amongst FIFA, because all the FIFA men's World Cups are required to have grass, but when the World Cup, the women's version, came to Canada, the players were furious, and some of the pitches were artificial turf, including the one here at Vestas Group Field in Winnipeg, and it was a big debate. Eventually they didn't quite get their way, the players, and they did have to play on turf, and clearly that is something that we got to move towards, especially if we're going to host the World Cup in 2026. I think that's one big step forward that we got to take, is having our players at any level play on grass.
And especially, I think, Heath, you're making a great point, and one of the things that it's affected most by is the American football games that do happen in Canada and the US, and the fact that grass is a lot less prudent of a surface to play on and a lot messier with football. The American football being a much more violent contact sport that will really destroy the turf. And so having that indestructible turf really provides a lot more cost-effective opportunity for management teams of stadiums to uphold the field, and in instances of playing football and soccer and American football on grass, it can really be ruined by players going up and down it all over the place, and it can present muddier pitches and also worse opportunities for players to play on a smooth field. A lot of the players in European domestic leagues are blessed with some very crisp, clean grass, and if that was to happen here in North America, I think it would be a bit of a different situation.
A couple of subs here for St. Louis that they just try to see out this match at Subway Soccer Complex. Burton making way. Like 3 substitutions there. Just kind of getting players out there and getting them some minutes as they look to just close down this victory here.
I was going to say, I remember my dad telling me a story about when the first time that there was ever a Men's World Cup game played on artificial turf. It was Brazil-Sweden at the Silver Dome in Detroit, where the Detroit Lions of the NFL play. And my dad was telling me that Brazilian players in particular were extremely frustrated and infuriated that they'd never seen such a carpet-like surface to play football on. And the game ended in a 0-0 draw, and a lot of the players attributing that to the fact that they had never had the opportunity to practice on such a bizarre material until showing up at the stadium to play that game. And I can definitely see the same outcry from players at the Women's World Cup, having not played on this kind of turf before. And especially when the Women's World Cup was held in the U.S. twice before, in 2003 and in 91. They did not play any games at stadiums that had turf. They played only at the Pasadena Bowl, or in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl, and in Foxborough where they did have grass at the time. So it'd be interesting to see that switch for the FIFA World Cup when it does come to Canada in 7 years.
Sagno. Nice display of his skill and strength there, Daniel Sagno. He's got a few runners in, and he's got to find that pass to Hoksha a little bit better. He had daylight ahead of him, Reno Hoksha. Sagno couldn't quite get it into his path. Hamler. Prazak's just gonna swing that one out of play.
And it's going to go out of play right before it hits the roof, and a bit of a good clearance, and it's a bit tricky on that sideline, I must say, as they could see the ventilation shaft there is just hovering above the touchline on the side. So it indeed is called a drop ball instead of a throw-in.
Okay, that's an interesting one. I can't quite see where that lines up on the field, but yeah, I guess that one is just inside the touchline on that far side. Lions just happy to wind this game down. They got another 10 minutes or so to go and have another opportunity here from a free kick. So McFadden's going to take this one. He's got a few options in the box, including the likes of Ray Hill and Weber. He's going to swing this one in. At the back post is Graham, and it's just flicked away beautifully by Kevin Garrick there at the last minute as Graham was looking to get on that one. That is, of course, going to go out for a corner kick here for the St. Louis Lions as Marshall steps up. Looks like he's going to take this one, as they're still getting a few numbers forward there. You got a man right on the goalkeeper and a few on the edge of the box. Of course, on all their corners, they're kind of lining up a lot on the edge of the box, and they're all just kind of running to the near post, far post, and it's difficult to read those. Headed down, there's a chance here.
Another chance, and
nice
deflected again by WSA Winnipeg.
Ref says no.
And the handball's waved off, as the referee, I believe, would claim that it would not be deliberate in that scenario.
Yeah, Gibbs steps up nicely to clear that one. And, it's a giveaway there from Ajibade. Here's Weber. Out to the far side. He's got... it's a
great save by Artemenko.
Yeah.
Able to parry that to the left side, and really had to catch himself as St. Louis had a 2-on-1.
Nice opportunity there for the St. Louis Lions to get a fourth, and they're going to get, looks like, another corner kick there on this near side. Can't quite see that, but of course they'll be able to see the box when the ball is swung in. Again, if you're on the edge of the box, it's going to go deep. It's header down. Weber's going to try and get a foot to that. And he can't quite do so, and Artemenko's going to play this out. He's going to swing it long towards, oh, it's a lovely turn from Kalen Badu just to read the flight of the ball. Kalen Badu gets around his man.
Cleared the safety by
great,
Gibbs.
Yeah, great recovery there from the defender.
And
that's gonna be a free kick.
offside.
Yeah.
A very, very tight offside at that, just crossing over midfield, the very edge of where a player can be offside. Prazik just takes a free kick quickly.
Here's Garrick. Just pressing up into midfield, Kevin Garrick. He's got Mashik on this far side. It's going to go towards Sagno, who is back on the field, of course, after going down a while back. Rahill, downfield towards Weber. Nice touch there from Riley. He's got space in front of him here, Riley. He's got Weber in the middle. He's going to try and find him. Just wait a little bit too long. St. Louis calling for a handball. Ref says nothing doing, and that's going to go out for another corner kick.
In St. Louis's fourth corner of the game. There haven't been many great opportunities, on the contrary, on any corners from either team during this game. And I feel the ball's played either too short or a little bit too long, and not in that threatening area right in the middle of the box by the penalty
Yeah,
spot.
for sure. This one a little bit wayward as well. Prazak's going to find the clearance to Sagno. Play through. Nick Frias here. Oh, and that's just gone out of play. Bit of frustration here from WSA Winnipeg as Nick Frias misses the pass to Kevin Garrick. Livanesi gets it away. Here's Ajibade. Of course, another thing that kind of winds down this WSA Winnipeg team is that they don't have numbers. The squad is very small, and if you look at the other teams in this division, they all got 30-plus members on the team, whereas Winnipeg are, I believe, just around 20. So you see a lot of the same players playing every game, whereas for other teams, they love to rotate, and they're getting lots of subs in, whereas Winnipeg are, not quite at that level of finding players that want to play for this team, or perhaps
And it might be
are
just
good enough to
finding
play
the
for this
quality
team.
players, right? Like, a bit of a sloppy foul there.
Yeah, this is a good level
From
of soccer
Frias.
here. Even we got the MMSL here, but perhaps this is a higher level of play. Of course, this is USL League 2. It's the fourth division of American soccer. But, you can still see the quality on the pitch, especially since they're playing against players from the UK, players from Brazil, Colombia. All these nations are represented in this division. And, Winnipeg, WSA Winnipeg, that is probably, below, obviously, Valor in, how competitive their league is, but they're still second. And they're still that semi-pro team that provides kind of a professional environment for players. And we've seen that with the amount of players that have stepped up into Valor over the last year or so.
Yeah, and although it is the USL, like you said, lots of international variety and a few different nations represented on the St. Louis squad, and Winnipeg representing only homegrown talent. Good for developments, but maybe in terms of winning, it has been a bit of an Achilles heel for their ability to succeed in this league, having won very seldom games historically and showing a lot of frustration, as they do here today, having given up 3 early goals and now riding the wave of a second half onslaught from St. Louis's defense to prevent any opportunities for them to score, minus that penalty kick.
Yeah, but you have to admire their commitment to development, because in this division, there's no promotion or relegation, and all the teams are essentially just here for players at this level. They're not gonna
Great footwork there.
Yeah, it's gonna go out of play. But,
able to win the corner.
Yeah, but like I was saying, you're not gonna you're not gonna attract Messi's and Ronaldo's to this league, right? So you're gonna have to develop players, which makes it quite interesting to see teams like Thunder Bay have a lot of older, 27, 20-year-olds that aren't even from Thunder Bay playing for their team. So you think, what you can't help but think, what is the point? Because you see these two teams in the field here having a lot of young talent, and talent that could go and play professional football. And that's sort of the goal that a lot of teams should be aiming for. Prazak gets ahead on that. It's just going to go past the post for a goal kick.
Another substitution here for St. Louis Lions. as it looks to be.
Well, it looks like Ben Weber's going to make his way off the pitch for Burke.
Yeah, it is an interesting point, Heath, that they have these players that are a bit older and maybe not of qualification to play in the professional ranks, playing in this league that does not allow promotion to the USL Division 1 and that is just below the MLS. So maybe just winning for the sake of pride, and not much player development can happen when guys are getting towards their athletic prime in their late 20s.
Yeah.
And the opposite approach being taken here. But mind you, looking at the standings, the bottom two teams in the USL Division 2 are these two teams that are contesting this match today that we're commentating on. So maybe a bit of a direct relationship there, but maybe not.
Yes, nice pass here to Silva. Struggling
in the
to
blind
find
spot
any
again
space.
here.
Yeah.
The ball's played back.
Garrick. Makshik. He's going to keep the ball in play, Aaron Makshik. Nice footwork here. Makshik just taking on the whole St. Louis squad, essentially. I mean, they're struggling to find any sort of space to work with Winnipeg, and St. Louis are getting back nicely. And here's Spatansky. Makshik getting back really nicely.
The fourth official is going to signal for 3 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah, so St. Louis just happy to play this ball into the corner and wind time down as Erman Makshik displays his fitness and agility to get up and down the touchline in a matter of seconds. Bit of a stoppage here as Sviatek Artemenko shows off his handles there. This is going to be a tough loss for Winnipeg, who had hoped to maybe get something out of this game, of course, against a fellow team who is struggling in this division. Both these teams, of course, coming into this game with 5 consecutive losses. And they met early in the season, and St. Louis crushed Winnipeg 4-1 by a margin of 3 goals, similar to what we're seeing today. And final substitution here for WSA Winnipeg, as Daniel Sagno, who did come on just in the second half, is going to make way for Andy Berjani. Yeah, look how compressed this pitch is for Winnipeg. Here's Hoksha. Loses that header. Here's Livernesi. Spatansky. Trying to play it down the line to Burke. Nice display of strength there from Kevin Garrick. He's going to test his keeper a little bit, Artemenko. And he's going to try and just loop it over. And it's a really good effort there. But of course, that's a difficult one to convert there for Marshall.
St. Louis still pressing, even in stoppage time here. Trying to give everything they can to put another on the board and really put an exclamation point on this game.
Of course, this game was brought to you by 4 points by Sheraton Winnipeg South, Winnipeg's best kept secret, and the second half was brought to you by Backwoods Boiler Boys. Badu. Oh, he's going to give that ball away, it looks like. Nope. Ashibadi's going to make up the space, and there's Prezak. Nice turn from him. Plays it to the far side, and Donna Kasonga. Here's Berjani. Into midfield, Braden Silva. He's got tons of time here to pick out a pass. Here's Garrick. Badu. Out here to Erman Makshik, making his way up the touchline. There's Erman Makshik trying to drive to the byline. He's going to cross it into the box. Hoksha's there. Can't quite find the room to pull off a shot, Rainer Hoksha. To me, another throw in for WSA Winnipeg as the clock is very much ticking down here at the Subway Soccer Complex.
Not much time left here in stoppage time. A foul called against WSA Winnipeg. As St. Louis are going to look to walk the rest of this time out here.
Yeah, maybe just find a corner.
Yeah, and have a little campfire standing over the ball, as often players do, to waste as much time as they can in stoppage time. Graham's going to send the free kick.
He's going to swing that to this. Oh, it's a lovely touch there from Spatansky. Arisa, plenty of time here. Livernese. Back to Graham. And that is going to be the final whistle here at the Subway Soccer Complex. WSA Winnipeg falling to a difficult defeat against the St. Louis Lions. 3-0 the scoreline here. I mean, it was very much finished at halftime, essentially.
Absolutely, Mahith, and I really think that it really showed early on in the game. You could see St. Louis making all the right moves and a lot of pinpoint passes that proved to be the reason in which they won this game, and they deserved to. And I think it was a bit of a poor showing on defense from WSA Winnipeg that put them behind early, and a bit of some brilliant efforts in the second half to really push forward. But I think the summary of this game was after that penalty kick that was awarded to WSA Winnipeg, and if it skied over the bar, and it really showed that, you know, they had opportunities all game to put themselves in positions to score, and also they were in great positions to score and weren't able to capitalize. And if you can't capitalize in football, there's not going to be many games that are to be won for your side.
Yeah, and the Reno Hochschild penalty miss comes to mind. That was with about 20 minutes left. 3-0 down, but if you get that one to make it 3-1, you just don't know what's going to happen. But after that, you can kind of see the sort of just the morale just dropped in this team, and it's very difficult to get back into the game after a difficult little play like that. But are you able to pick a man of the match today?
Well, I think the man of the match for this game would have to be on the St. Louis side. I really believe that Josh Graham really played a great game on defense, and despite the goals, the 2 goals from Weber in the game, I really think that Graham had a really clean game defensively, and he was able to snuff out any attacks that WSA had, and played a lot of great long balls to flip the field and to clear any danger out for St. Louis. And although scoring is very important, defense is equally as important as well, and it's really the difference that made this game 3-0 for St. Louis, as they were able to exploit bad defensive mistakes. And since St. Louis didn't make any mistakes, that's what gave them the opportunity to win this game.
Of course, both these teams will be back in action on July 1st, Canada Day. St. Louis will be taking on the Thunder Bay Chill, and WSA will be taking on Green Bay. And for Matias Bueno, I am Mahith Kamaj, and thank you for tuning into this game on Amateur Sports TV. We will see you next time.
At Collins Hotel, we have you and your family's comfort in mind. Relax in one of our 16 suites featuring king or queen-size beds and 36-inch TVs. Suites also include a mini fridge and other kitchen appliances to make your stay as comfortable as possible. During your stay in Pilot Mound, visit Weiser's Restaurant, our attached family-friendly restaurant and bar. It is the perfect location to host group meals, dine with the family, or unwind after a hockey game. Come in and meet our friendly staff offering daily specials on food and drinks, wing night Wednesdays, buffet Fridays, and multiple TVs to watch the game. Weiser's is the place to be. Collins Hotel and Weiser's Restaurant.
At Super 8 Winnipeg West, we have your comfort in mind with free Wi-Fi and free daily Superstart breakfast. We also have guest laundry facilities, a state-of-the-art fitness center, and a jetted hot tub. Sleep well in a spacious guest room equipped with plush new bedding, a 50-inch flat-screen HD TV, microwave, mini refrigerator, and Keurig coffee maker. Or book a suite with a kitchen, ideal for extended stays. Super 8 Winnipeg West, located just inside the perimeter on Portage Avenue.